I have been waiting for this like you can't believe. So much I want to tell you. So much. Dear friends, welcome. Welcome to this. Because you need me. You need me. You need me. We are hitting circular speed. We are devolving because the children don't know how to handle what's going on in the world regarding Israel and Hamas. They don't know what to do. The media, forget it. And even there's a couple of things that we have to deal with. In addition, but even the platformed media are absolutely letting us down. I'm telling you right now, first post, Palki Sharma, fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. She did one today on this scam of Hamas. How these people are making all this money, letting the poor Palestinians in Israel. Yeah, we're all for you. But we're elsewhere. They're banking millions of dollars, these phonies. So I can't wait to speak to you tonight, my friends. Oh, God, we've got so much fun. We're going to be talking. Oh, I've got a list right here. I got a list. Go to my list of things I want to talk to you. I'm only going to mention people that I like. If I think people are FOS full of, I'm going to mention them separately. And there's a bunch of FOSers out there that are just absolute, technically be FS because the O was a preposition, but still FOS, full of, got it? But my friends, thank you. First of all, let me ask you, please, I ask you, please subscribe to our channel, critical as it is. You know how this thing works. Like our videos, like our channels, subscribe to that, subscribe to it. I know, my friends, that tonight we are brought to you by our great friends at Prepare with Lionel. Actually, my page resupply, but preparewithlionel.com. And right now, bigger than ever, bigger, better, and more Brobdingnagian, immane, and colossal than ever. Right now, because you want to delve into this, you want you're kind of like your introduction, you can get $200 right off the top of the 3-month emergency food kit. That's right. This is the entree. $200 right off the top. You got it? Order now, my friends. And if you order by 3 p.m. every day, free shipping. Preparewithlionel.com. We're not talking powder and a little straw. We're not talking that NASA stuff. We're not talking Major Nelson and Pop-Tarts. We're talking state of the art, my friends. State of the art. 21 varieties, breakfast, lunches, dinners, snacks, you name it. 25 years shelf life. Sturdily concocted, connected, and constructed in these beautiful buckets that are perfectly modular and they're water resistant. You got the bags with the oxygen absorbers, resealable. It's the most fantastic thing in the world. Preparewithlionel.com. You go right now. You go, girl. Because let me tell you something. You know it and I know it. One of these days you're going to say, thank you. Thank you, preparewithlionel.com. Thank you. We listened to you and now it paid off. Preparewithlionel.com. Do it now. Special deal. $200. 200 simoleons off a 3-month emergency food kit. Go to preparewithlionel.com. All right, dear friends, right off the bat. And look at this. From my alma mater, Stetson University College of Law. As Florida's first law school, Stetson has educated outstanding lawyers, judges, and community leaders for more than a century. The law school is a part of Stetson University. That's right. Florida's first law school. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now let's get started. First and foremost, I'm just going to dive into this. There are people, as you know, who are FOS. They're into this lefty kind of, and there's one in particular. Oh my God. One of them on was, and I like him a lot. You know, I like Joe Rogan a lot. He was on with Joe. And there's this one in particular. She feels the pain she feels. She's sentient. She's empathic. It's the same stuff over and over again. What are we talking about? What are you going to add to the problem that we don't know about? What is it? What are you going to say? Tell me what are you going to say? The people are occupied. I know it. We know the story. I'm not saying it's not true. I know Occupy Living Hell. I know. Tell me something new. When they're born, they die. I know. Why do you think? And then this one FOSer says something like, and that's why. To explain. Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me? Are you trying to explain to me? Are you trying to justify what happened? Tell me you're not trying to justify what happened. Tell me you're not. No. Tell me you're not trying to justify what happened. Because I will not countenance that. I will not abide that. Don't tell me you're trying to abide, to justify, to explicate what is happening regarding Hamas. Please don't tell me this. You've got to be kidding me. Don't. Because this is the part that I'm trying to tell you. Nobody likes. They hate these people. Hate them. And that's why the professionals in here who all of us say, this is my cause. This is my cause. Okay, fine. And I want you to know that I feel the plight of the Palestinians more than you do. Okay. Because I'm super lib. I feel it. Now let me go. Let me just make sure you understand something right off the bat. I believe in the majority or whatever of these Palestinian folks. I think they're saying everything that's true. I think their life is living hell. Sorry, maybe not every single one of them, but the ones that I hear right now, absolutely. They're not making this up. When I see these poor grandma types with they're crying, it kills me. They didn't do anything to deserve this. But here's my question from Miss Princess FOS. What are you going to do about it? Huh? What do you want to do about it? You just want to talk about it? What do you want to do? What do you think we should do? Tell me. What do you think we should do? Tell me. Give me a real, honest to God answer for what we should do. Tell me. Never an answer. What do you want? Israel to what? Turn over the keys here. We're sorry. That's not going to work. What do you want? They never tell you. They're worse than the climate change people. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? The climate change. Okay, fine. What do you want? And the polar bear. I know the polar bear. I know. I got it. What? What do you want? At least they'll give you some nonsense about, they'll say windmills. Windmills? Okay, there's something. Windmills. EV? What's that going to do? I don't know. But they have something. Our good friend, the lovely and talented, the magnificently erudite Eric Thaddeus Walters says, NATO Operation Steadfast Noon. Sounds like a Marty Robbins song. Has begun as of midnight Rome time, CET, an hour ago until 24 October. It's a nuclear, naval, and Air Force exercise at U.S. military bases Aviano, Gedi, Amendola, Gioia del Colle, and Trapani. Eric, those were all military bases? I had no idea. I had no earthly idea. I feel like a stunad. Unbelievable. Operation Steadfast Noon. Thank you, dear friend. I had no idea. Eric, what do you think we should do? With Princess FOS. Oh, this one. I hear. Oh my God, I almost puked. These people make me sick. What do you want to do? Jerry Adams, during the Troubles, said, I'll tell you exactly what I want to do. The mothers and fathers, I want you to get hate. Get hate. Okay, fine. Got it. Get hate. Got it. I understand it. Basque separatists, what do you want? What do you want? What do you Vietnam? Get out. Got it. Got it. We'll get out. We'll get out. Because we came in kind of as the interloper, and now we'll go back home. Thank you. Sorry for the bombing. Okay. What about this? We've been living together. What do you want to do, princess? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? This is different. I don't know. I just want to go on TV and rally and cry. Do you understand this? Oh, look at this one. Harvard. Leaders by Design meet members of the Harvard community who are bringing innovations and advancements to the world of architecture. Dude, you are bro. I guess the word is bro. You are wacky. And as I told you, one day I want to party with you. I really do. I want to say, who is this guy? Who is this wacky cat? Now, my friends, let's talk about this. I'm going to put this aside right now. This is this one particular. Then I'm going to talk about these two cornballers. Oh, these professional attention addicts. Megan Kelly and Candace. Oh, and I'm going to mention their name because I have to with this. I have to. Oh, please. Oh, I can't. It's such a work. It's such a work. This one, I'm going to mention this one too. Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, stop yelling. Stop. Yeah, everybody's just milking this thing to death. Rush Limbaugh never yelled and screamed. And why are you doing that? What is the purpose of this? They're trying desperately. We've got to milk this. But I got to tell you something. And I'm going to throw this into the mix for your discussion, your edification, your perusal, and your review. I want you to listen to me very carefully. You know, there was that Bill Ackman story the other day where Bill Ackman, the big hedge funder, decided that he was going to take all of the names of all of these people, all of these kids and all this stuff. And he was going to get their names, these various leaders who showed some type of solidarity towards, I guess, Hamas. I guess. And so Ackman said, I think Harvard should reveal the names of all these students, give them to me, so that we can make sure they never work on Wall Street again. That didn't set right. I liked it because I'm petty and I'm a human being, and I like people to get I like to get it through, both barrels, especially these punky little whiny, these ingrate fools, these ersatz, this counterfeit, I was going to say Confederate, these counterfeit fugazi intellectuals. Harvard's not anything. I can't speak for like the medical school or the law school's gone. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. But there's something that bothered me about this. So Owens, who's in the fast talking club, she and Shapiro, because they figure if you're not saying anything, I'll never talk fast. Talk fast because you sound fast. Even though what you're saying is ridiculous, it's not going to sound fast. People think, well, it's fantastic. She's not how fast she talks. What is she saying? I don't know what she's saying, but it's so fast. And Ben Shapiro too. What is Ben saying? I have no idea. But my God, he's fast. Anybody who speaks that fast must be smart. Because whenever you speak that fast, you must be smart. Because nobody can talk like that and be dumb. You got to talk like that and be fun. Stop it. What are you doing? This is annoying. But I agree not with her, but with the idea. These kids are stupid. They write this stuff down. Aren't they entitled to what they say? Aren't they entitled to this? If you believe, if they, as nutty as this is, are siding with Hamas, I'm sorry. That's your opinion. I'm a purist, baby. I'm a purist. First Amendment. Now, I can, check, but for this hedge funder to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, make sure these people don't get a job." I mean, that's he's kind of like exercising his own First Amendment right, but I don't like that. Here's the next thing for you. And by the way, Eric is uniquely qualified because he is aware of schools and students and what the zillennials think. Let me ask you this question. Let's assume, and they're doing it right now, Hamas and others are on social media and they're putting videos of stuff that I think keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Let people see how horrible are. Let's see how people hate you. Show them specifically. This is the best one. No one covers New Hampshire like we do. WMUR, News 9, tonight, News 9. Thank you. That's the best. That's the best. That's the best. Thank you for that. That's the best. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Should social media platforms deny Hamas or whoever it is to put pictures of whatever it is they put? Yes or no? I think they're on Telegram now, they say, and people say, they shouldn't be able to do that because it's hate speech. Who says? No. I mean, who says? You say? Who says? Sounds like Luthez, whom I met one time. Well, that's hate speech. Does hate speech belong? Does hate speech? You want to, wait a minute. Is that what you're saying? You want to get rid of hate speech? Hate speech doesn't have a say? No, I'm dead serious about it. Who believes that social media should say no, that's Hamas should not have pictures, terrible pictures, awful pictures, dismember, whatever these pictures are. They should not do this. Anybody? 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 Anybody believe this? Anybody believe it? Who does? Anybody? Look at this. James Whip says, at least we can see how bad they are, but I don't want kids to seeing horrible atrocities on the major platforms. James, I don't want kids seeing pornography. I don't want to see kids. Whose job is that? Parents. Don't limit my ability to enjoy free speech because of some hypothetical 10-year-old. That's not my problem. That's their problem. Okay? Sorry. That's what parents are for. Mrs. L will teach you about digital safety. She'll tell you how to do that. She'll tell you how to keep your kids safe from that. John McGuire couldn't get higher says the Arabic Hamas channels post 3 to 6 times a minute. Interesting stuff. Absolutely. John, if the New York Times is out writing and they say today Hamas leaders said such and such and said death to Israel and you write it up, why is that okay? Well, that's different because that's different. Why is that different? Well, it's different because that's what? Well, that's a newspaper. What does that mean? What difference does that make? Why is that different? Why is that different? I don't understand this. I don't understand how anybody misses the point, how anybody misses the idea that this is something which I think is so critical. I want free speech. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. I don't care what it is. Is it real? Is it true? Then show it. Or allow. I don't particularly want to see it, but that doesn't matter. What difference does it make? See, we're you see what we're doing? We're taking these babies at Harvard and we're basically killing them with our own words. Okay. Listen, for those of us who have been sidelined and hurt and crushed in our own social media worlds, destroyed by, all this stuff, we tough, 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 tough. You wanted us shut down. You wanted us shut down because you didn't like what we said about COVID. You didn't like what we said about this. You didn't like it. You didn't like what we said about anything. So you know what? You didn't come to my help or to my defense. Why should I hear you? But you know what? I'm a purist and I'm a man of conviction. And I believe the First Amendment is the First Amendment and free speech is free speech. I come from a generation where we had, by God, we had the anarchist cookbook. We had Paladin Press. We had a cookbook. We basically where you could learn how to make a silencer, how to kill people, how to kidnap. That's free speech. It's free speech. It's an idea. They took field manuals. They took Army field manuals. It basically says, here's how to be a sniper. Here's how to do this. Here's how to make a silencer out of, soap or whatever that was. I can't believe they're doing this. Let's say there was a time, let's say this was in 1939, and there was another guy who looked like Charlie Chaplin, whose name we can't mention. Don't you think he should have been able to say what he wants? Don't you think he should have said? Huh? Oh, Llewellyn, thank you, grazie mille. Don't you think he should have? Let him say what I want to hear. What they have to say. Tell me. It's a bad world. It's a terrible world. There are terrible people in the world. If you don't like it, go to another world. But don't cut my speech. Go someplace else. Leave. Go to some other parallel universe. I want to know everything. I want to see it. You want to do this? Do it. Don't pixelate it. Show me. What is it? Show me. These same people are the ones who, whenever somebody used to go to Twitter or others and say, hey, you've got pictures of kids. CSAM, child sexual abuse material. They go, well, we know, what are you going to do? Sorry. Free speech, What? Take this down. Sorry. Section 230. Section 230? What does Section 230 have to do with anything? Sorry. Eric Thaddeus Walters says Iranian Foreign Minister Amir Abdullahian states that in the coming hours, there is a real possibility of preemptive action by the resistance. Well, Eric, sometimes I'll call you Aaron. You know, Eric, there's a couple of things we've got to talk about. First of all, I heard some stuff today that blew my mind. And I kind of dropped my guard. First of all, number one, as you know, the FOS squad, people who are full of, will say a lot of things. Okay. And one of the things is that, that sounds like the character from Mad TV. They make it sound like, oh, God, Hezbollah. Oh. You know what? Let's see your stuff, Hezbollah. Let's see it. You know what blew my mind today? You know what I heard? This, I didn't even see this one coming. Somebody says, you know how the vaunted Israeli, what am I trying to say? The vaunted Israeli intelligence division, Hamas, this big Hamas who dropped the ball like nobody can believe. Remember that one? They said, what happened to them? How did they do this? How did you not know this? Something's weird. One of two things. Either A, you knew this was coming, and this is all either, I don't want to say false, not false flag, but lie hop. Let it happen on purpose. Or maybe you're not as good as we thought. Maybe that's it. Second, maybe they're not as good as you thought. Here's another one that blew me away. I always assumed that the IDF, I know this is one opinion, and I can't verify this, but I always assumed that the IDF was the best of the best, 82nd Airborne versus the Navy SEALs and Delta Force and Special Forces and all this other. I mean, the IDF, that these were the best of they always have special unit, echo unit. I heard somebody suggest that mostly these are reservists and they're not as good as you'd think. I thought, wait a minute, hold it, wait. What? Now, let me just leave it at that. I am not in any way suggesting or implying or insinuating that the Israeli army or the IDF is not up to par, but it made me think, how do you know what they are? You're just repeating what people are saying. I never thought about it. Do you think anything today is as good as it was then? Do you think Darby's Rangers then were better or worse than today's Rangers when you have General Milley running the show? Now, a word, by the way, from our friends at New Hampshire PBS, inspiring 1 million Granite Staters each month with engaging and trusted local and national programs on air, online, via mobile, in classrooms, and in community. Thank you. New Hampshire PBS, so arcane. Again, you're a genius. You're killing me with this, but thank you. You're killing me. Now, here's another thing, too. I want to take this one in particular. You know, this FOSer, the one who was breathless. You don't understand. I feel for these. Okay, fine. Well, listen, here's what we want to do. I got two people for you. Come on in. I've got Bibi Netanyahu here on tonight's show, and I've got, I don't know, Abu Mazen or Hamas. No, keep. You notice how Hamas is just, they're nowhere to be found, because these are the scariest, the most negative, the connotation, they just drip of terroristic lunacy. Just look at these people. Dear God, look at them. No, serious. Look at them. Wow. And my favorite is Baghdad Bob. What are you talking about? When the Hamas leaders, what? When they came in with a paraglide. When did they do? I don't remember that. This guy is, he's either out of his mind or he's one of the best liars I've ever seen. And then they've got this one guy from, you've seen years and years, depending upon this area here, this is from years of praying. It's a sign of devoutness, and it's almost like the trumpeter's lip, or the hockey player loses a tooth, or wrestlers have, the marks. It's a sign of years of, well, this guy's very pronounced, and he's in this room and he's just scowling. I'm thinking, play more of him. Oh yeah. He's not even talking about the Palestinians. He's not even talking about the occupied. He's talking about death to Israel. That's it. Whoever's, and if the occupation ended, he would still say death to Israel. This guy's terrific. This guy's, you're not going to be seeing him too often, for reasons that are obviously obvious to most people. I mean, this guy, this is just a nut. Anyway, so this one FOSer I've got, I'd love to sit her down and say, you're not going to believe this. Guess who I've got in this room? You ready? I've got Bibi, and I got whoever the other one is. Okay, ready? Now I want you to lead them. Let's lead them through prayer, so to speak. And I want you to tell them what it is precisely you would like them to do. And I will say, now, Bibi, listen carefully. Got an expert here. She's very devout, very sincere, very sincere, very, very sincere. She really knows her stuff. And she's been doing this for a long time. And she's, you might ask, well, does she have any experience in the Middle East? Well, it doesn't matter, but she's done shows, and she's got a hell of a following, and she really knows her stuff. Okay? Now go ahead. Ask him. Ask him what? Ask Bibi what. Tell him what you want to do. Bibi, listen up. Go ahead. What do you mean? Go ahead. Tell him. You keep talking about how everything's terrible, and you want to do, okay, fine. So tell Bibi what it is you want him to do. What? Bibi, leave. What? Leave. Leave? Yeah, just leave. Leave Israel. Wait a minute. What? Well, that's not going to work, is it? No. What else you got? Okay, BB, stop occupying. We did stop occupying. He says he did stop occupying. 2005. Oh, wait a minute. You didn't stop because you controlled the area around it, BB. It's just like you learn all the time when you pay attention to Wikipedia. New Hampshire PBS is a public broadcasting member network serving the U.S. state of New Hampshire. Thank you, Wikipedia. Thank you for that. You see the stuff you know? Okay, let's bring in Abu Mazen. This isn't going anywhere. Abu, yeah, listen, babe. I got the princess here. She's going to talk to you about this. She knows what she's talking about. Tell him. What? No, tell him. I like him. Oh, you like him? Well, what do you want to tell him? You're going to fix this. He's the occupied, right? So does he have anything to do? Yeah, listen, do you have any say? Do you have any say perhaps in maybe trying to get to Hamas and having them not bomb Pastafarian? Thank you. You see what they're doing is Israel says, yeah, listen, you see, we pulled out of Gaza in 2005, but the problem is they let in Hamas. Well, we voted them into office. I don't give a damn if you voted them into office or what. You let them basically come in and use Gaza as a launching pad, and we're not gonna allow that. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Okay. So what do you want me to do? Come on. You're the genius. You were on whatever. Tell them. What do you want? I think you want BB to leave. I think you want him to leave, or what? What do you want to do? Do the Israelis have any say? And by the way, a lot of Israelis are Arabs too. Israelis doesn't mean Jews per se. It means Israelis, people who live in Israel. What do you want them to do? Have you heard anything? Seriously, folks, listen to me. Have you ever had anything? Have you heard anything? Have you any two-state solution? They say there's two-state solution. You had two states, but you've got Hamas. What do you want to do? Have you heard anybody suggest it? Yes or no? Anybody? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? Hello? Talk to me. Did I miss something? Come on. Talk to me. Did I miss something? I know you're there. Takes a while for you to catch up. What is it? Somebody says very interesting. What's also suspicious is why they gave him time to evacuate and more time after that. I would think they would go immediately and blast the place to bits. There's something wrong here. Well, listen, blast the. I'm sorry. I am sorry. But no, I don't want anybody blasted. I don't be like a Nikki Haley. I don't want. You got them? Miss something? 800 Lionel now. Thank you. Come on. What's the answer? What have you heard? Do you ever watch? And I kind of like her. I thought she's good. Amy Goodman. Do you ever watch her show? Do you ever learn anything? What do you want? What? Nobody's telling me. I've never heard anything like it. I'm telling you. Ask everybody you know. What is it? What is your... explain the solubility factor. What do you want from this? Nobody tells you. All right, let me change the subject. This is the part that gets me. This is the part that gets me. A lot of these people are the phoniest people in the world. They don't know the first thing about occupation. All they know is they want to do this because, just like with not all people, please, a lot of sincere people, but there's a lot of them who don't know. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. And just like with climate change, they, do this. By the same token, there are people who are prototypical right-wingers who themselves, they swear they care about this, but they really don't. They, honest to God, they don't care. Just like all of a sudden, these people who were staunch, they were staunch Second Amendment advocates. Why? Because that's what you got to do if you want to be a part of the Second Amendment. If you want to be on Fox, whatever it is, you got to talk about the Second Amendment. And the Second Amendment is great and all that kind of stuff. But deep down inside, they don't know anything about the Second Amendment. They didn't care about the Second Amendment. But they say things in order to do it. So my question is, a lot of these folks just came along and they said, okay, this is the thing. Okay, fine. All right, terrific. Just like there were people, all of us, remember overnight on TikTok? Hi, I'm a transpositional bifusal. I'm a bifusal and a hemifusal. I am my pronouns are and I am hemisexual. I'm a quadrisexual. I'll do anything for a quarter. And overnight, where did these people come from? They were never a hemisexual, two-spirited, asymptotic whatever. They did it because that's what was cool now. And just like tattoos are cool, I saw this woman today. She must have been 20 years, I don't know. She looked fairly young. She was at a bus stop. She had a bare midriff with her gut hanging out. Big girl. Vaping, smoking weed, but through a vape thing. Had this tattoo sleeves and this stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, what? She has no soul. She just gave in completely just to be a part of this. But here's my story. Years ago, I was asking people, why is it that certain things get people's attention and other things don't? In 2006, 2005, in the DRC, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, women were, I got to be careful now because you got to watch what you say. Women were abused and violated with bayonets, spikes, stakes, like a stake in the wooden, just horribly, unbelievably mutilated. You name the trauma, vaginal, bladder, perianal. It was horrible. And these poor women, they by virtue of this, they had fistulas and a number of other things, but they became incontinent. And because of the smell, they were basically thrown out of their villages or their particular their areas. Doctors, American doctors and European doctors went, and they were very familiar with about repairing fistulas, which can be done depending upon the degree of damage. But anyway, there were women, 250,000, with bayonets, and nobody said a word. Nobody cared. And I said, wait a minute, what about this? You got Princess FOS who's crying and saying, did you know about this? I know occupation is bad. This is horrible. I don't want to try to serialize or provide some advancing level of horror that the occupied Palestinians face compared to this, but to be abused 250,000 systematically as a weapon of war with bayonet. Wait. And nobody said a word. And somebody said one time, I forget who it was. They said, what was it? What was the main export product? I think it was chocolate or something. I don't know what it was. Gerald Salenti said one time, what was the chance? What would have been the chances of our invading Iraq if their main export had been broccoli? It's true. So I asked the question, why don't people care about that? I don't know. Why? Why do people all of a sudden overnight, that's all they talk about is Occupy Palestine. Where have you been? Well, You're the same thing with you know, here's a, where is it? Where's my, oh, here we go. Okay, quickly. Find it. Do you know that with a globe this big, you cannot see Israel? You can't, you can't. You can't. It is just, well, it's not even there. That doesn't mean, I mean, that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. But these people, a lot of them, and you know it and I know it, these people all of a sudden decide, oh, tonight, occupied Palestine. That's all I'm thinking about. That's it. Because I get to talk about the Israelis and the Jews and all, and I get to let them have it. And it's my thing. And then after a couple of weeks, oh, we're going to forget about it. Remember Lahaina? Who? Lahaina. Oh, yeah. That's that Hawaiian place. Yeah. Anybody talk about that anymore? Nope. Why? We just don't. We get tired of it. We move on. We move on to someplace else. That's what we do because we're funny that way. We really don't know what we're talking about. You see, to us, all of this stuff is just an act. It's just an act. All we do is we just, and I'm not saying everybody, please, my dear friends, I ask you again, I ask you, I'm not saying everybody, but there are so many folks who just, and I want to know, again, this picture. During the Troubles, when Jerry Adams would talk, when he would meet, when oh God, when you know, the fellow from the, oh God, my head's so fried. Ian Paisley and what was it, McGregor and Tony Blair? I mean Tony Blair. But Jerry Adams, they had plans. They knew when Nixon went to Paris at the peace talks, they talk about withdrawal. I ask you, my dear friends, again, I'm serious. I beg you. Have you heard of a solution? Don't tell me two-state solution. They've got a two-state solution, supposedly. How is this going to work? What is this? And another thing too is, when you've got a group called Hamas that never talks about anything, it's like it's like almost like they're like the enforcers. They're like the Luca Brasi of this group. They come in and they raise all kinds of hell. How is it that nobody can ever bring up the fact that they're terrorists, that what they did was beyond the pale? So, in conclusion, what I've noticed is that these people are full of, they just talk nonsense. They talk this stuff, and I mean, they have nothing to say. And by the way, it's great. I enjoy, I shouldn't say I enjoy, I love the perspective. I love to hear, I like to see the news. Palki Sharma on First Post, she used to be Weon. Weon's very good too. And by the way, they're Indian. I think they're out of Delhi, or very, very thick, if you will, Indian accents. They speak perfectly. They speak perfectly. They refer to West Asia. And they talk about it. So don't take it with a pinch of salt. And the way they do numbers, they say today there was 128 people killed. They say 128. 4123. They give the numbers differently, but their English is perfect. They speak better than the mayor of New York. And one individual in particular on Fox News, one of the things, I swear to God, I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Gets the tenses wrong, drops S's, the United States of America. You know, just, and these people, they're brilliant. And they're walking around they're not like far away. They're like in the middle of this. There's bullets flying and they're walking around with their press helmet on. It's the most incredible thing in the world. And they also bring up, they love the fact, because they're international, they talk about things like what's with Xi Jinping with his Belt and Road Initiative, this forum. Who's there? Putin. Oh, God. Have you ever heard Putin speak? Have you ever heard Putin speak? Now, of course, you're going to hear translators, but just his countenance, his visage, his affect. Have you ever heard him speak? I'd give anything to have a president, any president of ours, sound like this. It's the most incredible thing in the world. He knows exactly what he's talking about. John McGuire says, in my opinion, the only solution is to let both sides figure it out on their own. War and death eventually leads to a long peace. Well, I kind of think in a weird way that is sort of what's happening. The only thing we're interested in is when other countries may come in. If this was a fight just between Israel and Hamas, nobody'd be interested. You could argue who trains Hamas, who pays for that. Yeah. But that's not what they're interested in. And seriously, there's so much money to be made. And you know who's funny? The latest one is Zelensky. He's feeling left out. What, he has 200, 300 billion, whatever the hell, whatever they tell you, multiply it by 3 at least. He's going to Israel. Stay out of Israel. Get out of here. Go home. Haven't you? Go to your country. Negotiate with Russia. Be done with this. Every time I see this guy, I'm thinking, what are we doing? But isn't this also funny? Putin said, you are not going to have a NATO state on my border. Let me make this crystal clear. You got it? You're not going to do that. Okay, so what happened? Well, they decided, Victoria Nuland, NATO, we're going to do this. Remember they brought in Georgia? Georgia learned real quick. Don't do that. Since 2008 or 14, I forget. Putin said, this is our red line. I'm warning you. Don't do this. What are you talking about? Mr. KGB, get out of here with your warnings. He can't warn us. Well, sure enough, he did the military operation, and he's taking his time. Remember that they said, look, he hasn't taken his time. What's my hurry? I don't hurry. I'm not going to bring my soldiers in. I'm not going to take, I don't want Crimea. I don't want anything. I want you out. Okay. So basically they said to him, you cannot claim that you were goaded. You cannot claim that you were pushed. You cannot claim that you were in any way cajoled or wheedled or by virtue of this prompted, goaded, threatened into this. You have no say whatsoever. You cannot claim that you were provoked. Okay, great. What are we talking about here? Hamas is saying, you provoked us. Supposedly, Hamas couldn't care less about the Palestinians. Anyway, they say, Israel, you did it. Wait a minute. They did what? They goaded us. They provoked. I thought you said that was impossible. No, it was impossible for Russia. When it's our thing, we can be goaded. You got it? We can be goaded. Oh, I see. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had anybody explain this to you this way? No. Has anybody ever? No. They talk about the same thing all the time. But the bottom line is simply this. Okay, BB, what are you going to do? We're going to go in, you're going to flatten Hamas. How many agree? Why are you going to say that? You want to flatten Gaza? Why? You're basically saying, see, he wants to get rid of us. He just wants to get rid of us. So what does he do? He just destroys where we live and then has us enjoy a diaspora. Do you really have to do this? No. The issue is, like I said the other day, the issue is, and the way to fix this is to get the other players involved. MBS at the top. Putin, Xi Jinping, all of a sudden they show up and they say, all right, that's enough. We're done with this. We're done. Can you imagine these guys coming in over the, not Biden, that's sad because the U.S. plays no role in this whatsoever. Can you imagine these guys coming over the horizon on horseback? All right, that's it. Everybody out of the pool. That's done. All right, we're done. Hamas, get out. Is that who I think it is? Xi Jinping, Putin, Erdogan, Jordan, Muhammad, what the hell is this? You know what I'm talking about. Qatar, Arab, BRICS plus 6. They all come in and they say, right, that's it. We'll take care of it. Thank you, U.S. Yeah, but we got the carrier group. You're not going to need the carrier group. We'll take care of this. Don't worry about it. They'll listen to us. Right? Right, Iran? Right? You got that? You got that? You're a part of it. How would that look? How do you know that's not the part of this thing, too? How do you know Bibi says, listen, I got to do the right thing? Bibi, did you know they would be coming in? Well, kind of, sort of. Look, I got to look out for myself. I got to look out and I got to do what's best for my country. And if these guys can find peace and if they're more powerful than you, it's the way it goes. Eric Thaddeus Walter says, more peeps here thinking that annihilation of one side or the other will be the only solution. The fallacious epithet that the enemy of my enemy is my friend will be a casualty also. Oh, absolutely. Brilliantly worded, excellently executed, brilliantly parsed and written. The loquacity of this man with his sesquipedalian delivery. Aren't you tired of this? And by the way, is there anyone here who cares at all about whether Jim Jordan is the Speaker of the House? Silver Fox, ladies and gentlemen, says, yes, BRICS plus 6 takes control with MBS as the head, as leader rather. They eliminate Hamas, then take control of the region, keep the current land boundaries as is, and tell them to play nice with each other. Can you imagine? If all of a sudden, remember when your father would say, that's enough, don't make me come in there. Okay, that's all right. No. Remember that? Remember how great when dads were dads? They go, that's enough. That's enough out of you kids. Keep it down. I told you to go to bed. Shut up. Don't make me come in there. All right. Don't make me come. I'm not, all right, don't come in here. We got it. Don't come in. And then he would come in. Just imagine that. Do you also find it fascinating? I'm sure you do. Where all of a sudden you've got Joe Biden. His voice is turned into a whisper. He has no lung capacity. He can't even speak. Please. They can't even speak. Anyway, he comes in. He talks like this. Okay, so they do the titular, thing with him. And when you're seeing Karine Jean-Pierre just absolutely gush over Israel, gush, with this sense of absolute, just incomparable adulation and praise and fealty and connection with Israel. It's mind-boggling. Did you ever think you would see the day? I mean, it's like, wow. This is Joe Biden who believes every cockamamie. Climate change this. This is a guy who still thinks corn pop and but they told him, this is where we go. This is it. We are 100% unanimous, steadfast. And by the way, it's not only us, it's the world. Because let me tell you something. Do you know what most Americans think? Most Americans don't like Hamas because those guys remind them of bin Laden. See, we had a bad day on a certain Tuesday morning, 22 years ago. Remember that one? And we don't want to go through that again. We don't want to. And the people who did that, as we're told, were the ones who looked like bin Laden and kind of look like these folks. We don't like these folks. So when we see these Hamas dudes, we think, you know what? That reminds us. There's nothing attractive about Hamas. There's nothing about them that makes you say, like, they got a good point. No. My friends, that's where we are right now. You understand this? That's what happened. Now, one more thing I forgot to tell you about another great, great friend of ours, great friend of the show, as you say. My good friends and your friends, Mr. Mike Lindell at mypillow.com. Mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, receive a free gift. Every time these people, there are teams of reporters who want nothing but this man to dematerialize. Well, he's still here. And if you go to promo code mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, and buy everything he's got, the quality, the product line, the integrity, the manufacturing, perfect. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, or call 800-645-4965. If you're listening to this, this is in the description section and in the comment section. They're great and glorious people, and we thank them for their support, and you as well. So, my friends, remember, watch nothing on TV. Watch nothing on cable. It is a complete and total waste of time. Have you ever found a story that all of a sudden you kind of like after the fact, you said, hey, I just discovered this. You know what I love? You know what's a great show? Have any of you seen Mr. In Between? I know it was on before. This Australian guy. I love this. I think this is Dirty Harry meets Death Wish meets Crocodile Dundee. I don't know. It is fantastic. And there's another one I like too, which is this fellow, which is really weird. This is let me see. This is yes. Billy Bob Thornton. He's in Lorne Malvo, the rootless, manipulative man who meets a small-town insurance salesman and sets him on a path of destruction. This is the Fargo adaptation, Lorne Malvo. Absolutely just weird. I love bad guys. Love bad guys. And Billy Bob Thornton, you would think with all that money, they would come up with better tubes than he has. I don't know where he gets these things from. He looks like he's a witness protection. You ever see that? We're talking to Phil Leonetti today from the Nicky Scarfo crew. He is heavily made up because of the contract, and he got the bad wig. That's what he looks like. But Mr. In Between, incredible. Love this guy. Love this. Billy Bob Thornton, Sling Blade was a movie that I think was so good. Changed my life. I was doing mornings in WABC and I got the chance to see it ahead of time. They had some early, I don't know, showing. I was into that, doing all, and people were saying, why are you doing? They had no idea what I was doing. I'm on the air. Sure love taters, that kind of thing. What is he doing? What else is he doing? Why? Who is this? I said, you'll see. Sure enough, a couple of weeks later, they go, you were prescient. John McGuire says, speaking of odd theories or odd stories, they have almost figured out EPA compliant residential incinerators. I'm looking forward to never taking out the trash again. EPA compliant residential incinerators. I like that. The idea of burning things up, burn bags. I used to love the smell in certain parts of the country where you would have leaves burning. And isn't that a wonderful smell? Leaves burning. I don't know why that smells. The other day, right around us, we have a lot of horses. And they have the police horses, and they've got the horses from the carriages. You got horses all the way. And I love the smell of tack and leather and horse. You know what I mean? There's something, I don't know why. I like that smell. It's the and whenever I see any, Civil War, whatever, I'm thinking, I wonder what that smells like. Just certain smells. Saw something today which freaked me out. Not freaked me out, but it was sunny, bright and sunny, and raining. Raining with sun out. Normally it gets dark when it rains. Not today. Very interesting. All right, dear and wonderful and glorious and gracious and beauteous friends, don't forget our friend, by the way, biggest deal ever, My Patriot Supply. Go to preparewithlionel.com. Listen to this deal, $200 off a 3-month emergency food kit. Go to preparewithlionel.com. I'm telling you, this is $200. Huh? To save your life. Think about that. And speaking of great friends and great people and great folks, how about our friends? How about John McGuire and Silver Fox? The incredibly brilliant Eric Thaddeus Walters. John McGuire couldn't get higher. Oh, 1-800-LIONEL now. Pastafarian Priest, Wikipedia, New Hampshire PBS. Llewellyn. Thank you. WMUR, Harvard. Mr. Walters again, and Stetson University College of Law. Oh, my dear friends. What a day it has been. And I'm going to continue watching this. I know I shouldn't. I know I should move on, but I'm finding this subject fascinating. And I'm thinking about how these poor people must be absolutely petrified beyond anything they could even imagine. So I thank you, friends. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your focus. Thank you for your genius. Thank you for just being who you are and for what you appear to be. We'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Same bad time, same bad channel right here. Don't forget these final words, my friend. This valedictory, this adios, this sayonara, this almost a denouement, so to speak. But the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya.